bought another lemon, wow, off of Marketplace. You know, underpaid, under-delivered, under car, all those kind of things. We got the dolly on this thing, which on the way home, made about 10 minutes and the taillight fell right out of it, so there's no taillights. That seems like a U-Haul thing. I sent him a text, so I'm sure it's fine. Anyways, we got about an hour drive. Man, dollies. Hour drive out of town, pick up this absolute junker, and bring her home. Because clearly I don't have enough projects on the go. I need a few more things to, you know, fill my spare time. So I'll see you on the road. Well, here's what I bought. I didn't do a lot of filming. The guy selling it was a super weirdo. Huh? 56 Chevy 4-door. So I saw this thing pop up on Marketplace, and she's like ready to go, dialed, a little rough around the edges, no bones about it. But I'll show you when I get home. Hood don't close proper, so we got a couple of straps on it. But LS power, I mean, that's a super rare option. So it's all been done. It's got a lot of new stuff underneath, fuel tank and all that. Runs, drives. The fender's a little rough. Check out the interior is what sold me on this stupid thing. They got these ugly seats in the front with, well, it's metal. But it comes with these, like, bitch and high back kind of gross things. So, I don't know if you guys follow, it's a small YouTube channel, a bit of a hack there, but half-ass customs. Anyways, he did the LS on this for a buddy of his. I don't know what'll happen. Anyways, now it was sold, so I picked it up. Now, it is a 56, it is yellow, and it is a 4-door, all of which I hate. But when we get home, I'll show you what I actually picked up and the reason we kind of made a deal on this. We got some ideas on it, and we'll kind of, you know, go from there. But relatively solid car. I can't really complain too bad. We're out in the middle of nowhere here, so we're gonna try and get her home. We got about maybe an hour and a half drive. And I will say, on the gravel, she wags a little bit. So we're going slow, but we're going. We'll see you at my place. All right, made her home. Look, we only blew off one strap. It's pretty mellow. I think that just happened though, construction. But it's like 50% held down, so we're golden. Buyer's remorse, eh? Really kind of gets in there in a hurry. Headliner? Be a shame when I ruin that. Anywho, I'm gonna get something to eat. We'll put a battery in this thing, and it actually does drive, and there's no coolant in it, and there's all sorts of issues, but oh yeah, we gotta move a bunch of junk. It's always junk around here, but we'll move some stuff out. We'll get her in the garage, give her a closer look-see. just like that, it's nighttime, bedtime. So we got the old girl home. Now, let me tell you the deal with this. And the reason I'm kind of making this video, the reason I bought this thing is for all you guys to see that there are still deals out there. Now, I didn't pay much for this thing. I kind of paid, I believe, what a 4-door generic kind of runner driver-ish car is worth. You'll be, you know, 3-4 grand into something like that these days, which is just ridiculous, but that is what they cost. Now, we're getting near the end of the season, you know, kind of mid-August-ish. I bought this about maybe a week ago, but it's one of those things where deals are starting to pop up, and this is the stuff you guys can find out there, and I believe we'll have this thing looking pretty sweet with a bunch of stuff I've gotten for like, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000. We have a pretty sweet hot rod. Now, I have collected some stuff, so obviously there's going to be a little bit of cheating going on, but if you're a hot rodder at all, you'll have some of this stuff as well. So now is the time to start buying. Now until, I mean, where we are, snowfalls, when that starts happening, people lose their storage, got to deal with stuff, whatever, the deals start popping. Now this thing here, the backstory is, is a runner driver that was on the road last year. The guy was enjoying it, and I guess either late in the year or early in this spring, it started having some issues. And slowly but surely, the guy, I guess, kind of lost interest and just said, you know what, it ain't for me no more. Now, it's yellow and it's 56, both things I hate, but it does have a lot of good going for it. And this is one of those where if you snap up when someone else has lost interest, you might be able to get a deal and kind of an enjoyable car. Now, the issues are, it was overheating and overheated a few times. So the motor don't run great, has no power, and kind of have a few issues there, but so be it. This rad, I don't know if you put it in or not. There is currently no antifreeze in it or water in it. There is some custom things done, but whatever, it is what it is. So this rad is no bueno. It is running the factory truck fan, which probably should pull all sorts of air. Really no issue there. I do have an aluminum rad. Now that's, again, where I'm kind of cheating, but you know, as I upgrade cars, you keep those. So I will be putting that in there. Like I said, does run poorly. It has a terrible exhaust leak. So fingers crossed, maybe it's like an O2 issue. It's getting air in there or something. So we'll have to look at that, or maybe it's dirty injectors, or maybe the motor is, you know, overheated to the end of its life and it needs to be replaced. So be it. I always think when an LS swap is being done, the physical motor itself is really not that big of a deal. It's all the other stuff around it and screwing around. I actually have a set of headers on the wall in the other garage, which I may just put on here, but we'll see. One thing at a time. We'll see what works. The transmission was definitely a little weak going in reverse, but I think it was low on fluid, and I noticed there is a trail of fluid coming in, so that is a problem. Whatever. The brakes, we'll call them brakes. It's a 2-3 pump job, so there's not a whole lot. Oh, watch the fender. There it is. You know, button tuck interior, just generic carpet got thrown down. Honestly, the rockers and all that, I mean, the floors are, they're mediocre. Needs a little bit of love back here. We can get that taken care of on the rocker. You know, the interior continues back. It was a hot rod. You know, somebody painted it yellow, which is too bad. It was kind of a cool, you know, bluey green, which I dig, and it's a base model. It's a 150, so that's kind of neat as well. It is a fairly solid car. There's some dents and stuff like that. We'll clean it all up, but there's some dents. Obviously, someone had some speakers in the back. All the glass is good. I didn't even look at the trunk, to be honest with you. You know, bumper, it's a car. We need to change a few things. It does have 16-inch chrome reverse wheels, which are strange. Not really for me. Here, I'll let you hear this thing. There's no water in it, but you can hear it's got an exhaust leak. So that's not great. It kind of farts and bangs and whatever. So, if it's got an O2 issue, then so be it. We'll just see. These seats aren't for me. Give it a couple of pumps. The old Pro Star, is that what these are? So it's got reverse on flatland. It's got all kinds of forward. It's charging, has oil pressure. What else could a man want? Am I right? Now, I do have a few plans for this. I bet you never guess what they are. But I will show you all that, those spare parts tomorrow. We're in the middle of this Chevy 2 build, but as we're waiting on parts, or I want a brake or something like that, we'll work on a nice little Chevy too. Make myself a cool little driver, because I don't have enough driver to try 5 Chevys. Am I right? Anyways, that's what we're gonna do for a night. I'm tired, I'm beat. We'll dive in with, we're jumping with both feet tomorrow. We should be able to like slam a radiator in here, look at the exhaust, maybe bleed the brakes, do a few little things. Single pot, 4-wheel drum, and the front end looks actually not too bad on it. So we'll do some screwing around, see where we end up, and I don't know what the hell we're gonna do with this thing. You guys can tell me, but I think it'll be a cool cruiser. See you in the morning.
Well, let's see what old Dee Dee's Speed Shop is up to. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Why are you removing the door, Dan?
These doors are bad.
Dan, why are you taking off the door?
I had a slight change of heart. So instead of trying to fix this thing up, making a nice 4-door driver, I thought we'd ruin it. You want to see what I bought next door?
Oh, no.
Oh, you can't show this car, you gotta.
Okay, I won't show the people.
There's a lot of things here.
Okay, hold on. I gotta shift to looking at my feet. But not my feet, because that's not free.
Yeah, feel free to donate for that. There's a few things you gotta step over here.
Jeez, okay, hold on.
So, here's what happened. I bought that 56 Chevy. And I bought it, paid for it, and then I wasn't gonna pick it up for a couple days. In between making a deal on it and picking it up, this happened. The guy had, this is Pontiac stuff, but 2-door Pontiac, a really nice set of doors. This one's got a slight whammo in it, but we'll knock that out. And then 2 full sections with regulators, glass, and the jam. And I got this stuff for a steal. Like, to buy these parts are ridiculous, so we'll end up having a nice little kind of panel to weld in. Huh? So, anyways, I'm gonna keep taking some doors off, but we'll make it run and put a rad in there, do a few little things like that. And I gotta change the wheels and tires. Those wheels and tires are ugly. Ugly. So we'll do that, and then maybe we might start chopping it up. I'll think about it while I unbolt the doors. Okay. So in all seriousness, I've been thinking about this car, clearly, because I'm an idiot and I can't stop. Anyway, I have a plan, I have a vision for this car, and it will be a 2-door, it'll be lowered, it'll probably be satin black, it'll probably be a lot of fun. And then we'll get on the road, El Cheapo, so you too can have a pretty wicked little hot rod for not a lot of money. And then, once that's all done, I have a ridiculous idea for it. Car owes me nothing, we're saving it, I feel good about it. Now, let's address a few things. These god-awful wheels. Now, I'm not a fan I don't mind them, but they're giant on this. They are 16s. 16s! So, those are going to turn into a set of rollers. Now, you know what I'm putting on here? Steelies on the back, a set of American Racing up front. American Racing wheels, I think I got in the basement, a set of tires on them. Now, I do have a set of steel, like kind of El Cheapo stuff I bought a while ago. With a set of 275s on it. I think what I'm going to do, between you and me, I'm going to steal the wheels and tires off Danny's car, the back ones, because those are steelies with their 27, what are they? No, they're 275/60s, but they're Mickey Thompson, like, drag slicks. So she's getting a regular set of wheels and tires. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on there. And the funny part will be when this video comes out and you guys can all go tell her that I've stole her wheels and tires, because I guarantee she's going to drive that thing to work tomorrow and she won't even know that I changed the wheels and tires. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so here are the rear tires. They're your LG, you know, whatever generic things. They got brand new tires, that's why I bought them, and they're cheap. So let's switch these out real quick and see if she'll even know. Huh, these look like got more bulge to them. Oh, we'll see what happens. There you go. She'll never notice. Ultimately, actually, these are 275/60s, and the other ones are 28/10s. So those are slightly wider, and but they're good. And I mean, they have tread on them. Let's be honest. It's probably better for her anyways. Now, I did change tires in here. They're a little sketch. I was missing a few lug nuts. Whatever, what are you gonna do? So these are actually a Unilug deal. I remember what one they were on there. These ones look shinier, which are the bigger ones, I think. So it must be Chevy like 4.5, 4 3/4 on a 16 with these little center things. These are $100 to buy, made in China. So, you know, a couple $100. Wheels and tires are probably worth something to somebody. Good rollers for me. I've got that on there. This thing does have air shocks in it. It's got like a helper leaf and all that. It will be getting 2-inch blocks. We need her lower. I think we're gonna do that and then put the front tires on. We'll see what we do. It sits really high in the front. Whether we leave it, do we have enough nose high things? I was kind of thinking I might just heat the springs up until they're all kind of folded together and like slam it that way. You know, that's probably the cool way of doing it. I gotta go with those front tires. It's freaking hot, I don't need a drink. And then we'll swap the radiator out. And I don't know, maybe we should just put headers on it right away. How much screwing around we should do with this thing. Fear I'll probably break a bunch of bolts though, which I don't really want to do, but I have those headers. I should use them on something. They're LS Tri-5 headers. Hello. So pulled these tires out of storage. So these are your typical American racing torque thrust D's or whatever. I got a buddy in town, Murray. Man, well that's sketchy. There's only 3 lug nuts. The Marketplace Lemon. There was 4 on the backs, but that's pretty good. Junk. This is why you always want to make sure you hammer a deal out with people. And this is actually probably I bet it's pressed on, so that's a hassle to deal with. But we'll just go ahead and pretend we didn't see that for right now. Put that on there. Where are the lug nuts? Let's change the look of this real quick so it looks neat. And while it's up in the air, we'll take a look at the...
Hey, you mean these nuts?
Thank you. We'll look at the exhaust real quick and see if we're going to mess with it or if we're just going to put headers on. I really think we should just put the headers on, but I don't really feel like breaking all the studs, all the bolts and stuff. What's going on? There we go. Wow, this is sketch. This is what you call a sketchy hot rod right here. Don't worry, we'll still drive it though. So then, zing. Look at that. Doesn't that look so much better than those wagon wheels that were on it? So that's at least the look we're going to go with. We can deal with that later. But look at the other one change real quick. We want to see how many studs are on that one maybe? Are we taking a guessing game? So the back two had 1 lug nut missing on each. The front had 2 broken studs. What are your guesses on this one?
I think it's gonna have 4.
Oh, all 5.
Oh!
Wow, not bad. Okay, I'll get that changed up. We'll get a radiator. We'll be back. We'll slam that in there. I'm thinking I'm probably going to pull the bumper and the valence off because gasser. That's just the way I like what I like. I have a Type A. Steel wheels out back, skinnies up front, no bumper, headers that leak, and 2-door shitty cars. I think we'll do that. We'll put the rad in. I'd like to maybe end the video by just cutting that door post out just for fun. Think that'd be a fun way to end it? Yeah, okay. We'll see with the rad. So, upon further inspection, this radiator, it mounts, there's no mount on the front, it's on the back side, which means this was originally a V8 car. The 6 cylinders were in front. And we're gonna obviously have to mount it in front because the fan and all that good stuff is there. We do have that. Well, we have a couple of radiators, but we're gonna use that one, just a little cheapo jobby with fans on it, but we're gonna eliminate the fan. Now we have to attach it to the core support kind of thing somehow, some way. I think what I'm going to do is we'll probably just nut and bolt a couple of pieces of angle to that rad, and then I'll put it about where I want, weld it in, it'll be fine. We'll just drop this transcooler down. We may have to shorten this hose just a scotch because it's going to be a center inlet deal. This rad's seen better days, but it might be okay. I don't know. I forget if he said he just put this rad in here or if it was junk, but either way, it's not full, so whatever. And then this was cut out at some point, and they put this in here, and the welds were, well, it kind of looks like a DD Speed Shop weld, but we'll clean that up. We'll do that proper, and then we get a little water in it. The steam port, I don't have a fitting for it. I got to get one of those. Do that tomorrow. Well, actually, the heater course hooked up. The front end looked decent. I mean, the bushings are a little meh, but they're fine. I think the exhaust leak's coming from the little donut, I think, on this exhaust manifold. So we'll fire it up when there's water in it. And if that's what it is, then we'll drop it, and tomorrow we'll get a donut to slam in there. And that'll be fine. Looks like there's no transmission kickdown hooked up currently, so we'll have to deal with that as well at some point. But realistically, it's just looking cooler. Wheels and tires. Huh? Am I right? So, yeah, let's pull this rad out. Well, the old rad's out. She's seen better days, that's for damn sure, but whatever. Anyway, so we gotta get the welder out, kind of weld that a little better. What else you got going on? Honestly, you know, so what the fan is, the radiator is gonna be right in front of here. So that's that. If we just made a very minimal shroud actually off of this, if we had to, just like a little baking sheet type thing, cut a circle out, you know, slide it in or whatever we got to do, it would pull all the air like crazy. And these, I assume this fan really pretty honky tonkin'. I mean, it cools all sorts of stuff. These radiators all are small, and I have had issues with them, but really I think it's probably flow and shroud. I've always done this, a fan on the back, cheap Chinese junk fan on the back, and they do fine in, you know, driving around all that, but in heavy traffic on hot days in idling they would get a little hot. So we're gonna pull out the old Chinesium welder, and we'll weld this on properly. I'm just gonna booger it. I mean, it's kind of whatever. We'll set the radiator in there about where we want. We'll hook the hoses up maybe. Honestly, the hoses do a lot of the holding for these rads, you know what I mean? And then we can probably chop this up into a few bits. I wish I had some longer stuff than this. I don't know if I have some. I'll have to look. And put it on there, nut and bolt. Zing. It's in there. Permanente. This is a fun hot rod because I really don't care about it. Oh, this one's welded on the back. It's actually, maybe that's pretty sturdy. It only needs one structural weld on that side. Put some water in it, and like I said, I don't have the fitting for the steam port. I got to get a little brass fitting, so we'll just plug that for now. But at least there's water in the block. We can run it for a minute. See if we can locate that exhaust leak. Keep on keeping on.
Daisies blooming, sundress swaying in the breeze. I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope that you never decide to set me free. The way you're moving, it's got me moving my own feet. The greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me. this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. The leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. We got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth.
All right, Brad's in, just some ugly tabs. Weld it on, we got that thing across, shorten the hose up a little bit. We can only fill it so much because we got a little hole for the steam port, which I gotta get a fitting for, so close enough. At least there's some water in it and in the block. We're not running it for too long. Let's fire it up and see if it's leaking from the exhaust. The little donut there, if that's the case. Maybe I can zing that off. It looks like it, well, I assume the exhaust was done when this car was built, you know, a year ago or so on the channel there. So hopefully I can pull that exhaust off if that donut's burnt out or whatever. I get one tomorrow and try it, see if that makes it run any better. If not, we're on to injectors, or I need to get an OBD2 kind of reader, and we'll see if like a plug, we'll see if we can wire that up and then scan it. Maybe there's something else wrong with it. It's got a couple bad coils or who freaking knows what. That's all kind of irrelevant because honestly I want to do this, drop on the ground and chop the door post out of it real quick. Bumper, delete. Doesn't this thing look 1,000 times better? No bumper, different wheels and tires. I freaking love it. I know I have a type, you know, you have your type of women and all that. I have my type of hot rod. Anyway, looking cool. Now, man, this thing is like the king of stripped frickin' hardware. So I pulled that exhaust pipe off, and I'll show it off. That's the nut, one of the nuts that was holding it on there. So they were tight, but not tight to the hold. So the donut was leaking, but I don't know. I think that's fine. So I think they were just loose. Put on their strip black. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'm gonna have a little break, charge the camera, cool off. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the door on this. If you're new here, or if you've never seen this before, I'm gonna two-door convert it real quick, like real quick. So I'm actually gonna start another video, which will be the next video. So you wanna come back and watch that, of how to two-door convert it, and I'll give you just a little sneak peek before we shut this video off. A half hour of work. We've chopped it all up. It's a it's a three-door, but it's a two-door one side. Up next, we gotta do this, but that's coming up on the next video. So hopefully you're liking this one, subscribe to the channel, and come back and watch some idiot hack up a perfectly good running and driving car. But it's gonna be a two-door. A two-door. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Enjoy the channel, all those things, and thank you so much for watching. Did I already say that twice? I'm tired.